Hello Aries, this is Fox Astrology and Tarot here with your astrology and tarot report for the month of September. This is a report that is more focused in on love, relationships, romance, that sort of thing. So whether you're single or you're in a current relationship, this should apply to you. Shouldn't have to choose through that. So first things first, I'm going to cover a few of the transits. If you want to see all the transits, be sure to go and check out the general report for the month of September for Aries. I have the link directly down below. You can just go straight to that video. I also have a link for the playlist, which has all the different signs, both for love or for readings, the general readings. So, to get started, on the 2nd of September, we have a couple of big transits. This one is, we have the Sun in conjunction with Mars, we have Venus squaring Jupiter. So with a Venus squaring Jupiter, in terms of romance, this may have you feeling a little uncentered, a little overindulgent. So be cautious in terms of love life, looking out for opportunities to sort of get organized, looking out for opportunities to be more long-term focused in your relationships. If you're single and you're out looking around for a partner, beware during this time. Pay extra special attention to any red flags that come out, as this may be a time where you're feeling a little less controlled in terms of how you want to be in a relationship, where you want to go, what you want to do. This can seem a little bit more like this is about your fun time. And if you do find a partner during this time, there is sometimes cases in these kinds of transits where you may find later that they are not responsible enough. So if you're looking for a long-term relationship, just keep in mind this little phase may be more about just having fun, focusing on yourself, having some enjoyment. If you're looking for long-term commitments, this may be better to wait for later when we have some better transits. Now, if you're in a partnership, this is probably a good time to focus on your partner in terms of allowing them to be themselves, allowing them to find ways of making themselves happy, supporting their happiness, supporting their adventures, so to speak, and allowing them to be free in that case, because that will really help ease the tension. Otherwise, they're going to be feeling sort of nagged, sort of squared or kind of pressured by you. In general, on the 2nd, we also have a T-square, which is going to kind of push you into kind of feeling pulled between work and play, your passions and maybe the more dedicated, committed kind of plans you have. So use that as an opportunity to really look for ways of organizing social events, organizing social behaviors, getting together with friends, that sort of thing. On the 10th, I have the 7 of love here. Now the 7 of love, I have in terms of transit, this is the Sun in opposition to Neptune. If you're in a relationship, this may be a time where you're feeling a little bit more confused, having a harder time making heads or tails of things, feeling like you have to ask a lot of questions and get a clear answer for something before you, provide a commitment. And so that's a really good way of approaching this transit. Beware of heavy chemicals, coffee, alcohol, those sort of drugs, those sort of things. And if you're in a relationship, be sure to get an absolutely full, clear answer to things before you commit. If this is about defining the relationship, this is about plans you have for the future, this is about having a kid or, moving in with each other, those sorts of serious engagements, serious commitments, be sure to get yes or no answers. Don't provide unclear answers and don't accept unclear answers. Be sure you get exactly what you're trying to understand down. Get it clear, get all the details down. And that goes the same if you're on your own. If you're looking for a partner, if you're out looking for romance, this may be a time where you're not going to get an easy, clear answer. So if you're going out on dates, you may find you have to press a little bit for details. You may have to really poke around to see what's going on. It's just going to be kind of hazy in general. On the 13th, we have the Sun trining Pluto. And in this case, this is going to be a strong period for you, feeling like you're very empowered, very capable of leading others towards solutions, showing other people the way, and maybe even for your own self, showing yourself the way. This could be a great time for personal transformation, alone time, but it could also be a great time to be out with people. If you're in a relationship, this may be a time where you are making some big changes. Maybe a time where you are possibly changing some behaviors. This could be your physical routines. It could also be mental routines. Maybe you're learning how to communicate better. Maybe you're learning how to have more intimacy. Pluto involved with the Sun may make this much easier for you in your relationships to strive for intimacy, to strive for a deeper connection. Maybe having more, not necessarily spiritual connection, but because some people just don't do that together, and that's fine. This could just be more in general being on the same page about where your future is in a relationship. So this will push you towards that. Now, if you're on your own, this is a great time for finding a partnership, as I feel this sense of leadership, this sense of empowerment will attract a certain kind of person to you, somebody who may be more interested in long-term development, intimacy for the sake of intimacy. Just keep in mind that you may come across here and there as a little bit more aggressive. It's Pluto and trining with the Sun may come through for you as a little bit more kind of Scorpio-like. And you're already doing well as an Aries, very forward, very willpower, but this will kind of amp it up a little bit. On the 21st, we have Jupiter squaring Neptune. Now in this case, it can push you to a little bit of over-optimism. You may feel really kind of youthful, kind of naive, a little innocent, feeling like the rules don't really apply to you, or maybe having some issues understanding some rules. So in this case, when it comes to your romance, this may be feeling like the relationship is a little bit more work than play, feeling like you want to get out and have some fun. So take advantage of this opportunity, make a date with your partner, go out, enjoy yourself, and try and have some fun together. And this will really make this relationship grow during this transit. If you're on your own, this is probably a good time to really look at practical solutions. If you're trying to still find a partner, this may be developing a strategy. I don't know if that works for you. This could be more about being practical and having some sort of like, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word, the phrase. Where you actually are, on the street level, ground level, taking action, meeting people, that sort of a thing. Hopefully that makes sense to you, Aries. But otherwise, if you're, dating right now, this could be a time where you're feeling a pull between going out and having fun and showing up to work on time, not sleeping in through the alarm clock, that sort of thing. So just be aware, try not to let this affect your work life, your commitments, and this should go well for you. On the 25th, did I miss a card here? Yeah, here we go. On the 25th, we have the Venus squaring Saturn. Now this, if you're in a relationship, is going to be kind of a drag, as you're going to feel things moving slower. You're going to feel maybe like there's a lot more distance between you and your partner. Maybe feeling a little alone, maybe feeling a little, drained. maybe stressed, kind of stretched thin, tired of things the way that they are, just really honestly feeling like bleh about the whole thing. And just don't take it too harshly. Try to think about, maybe these people that you're in a relationship, they're not necessarily pointing their bitterness towards you so much as their bitterness towards the situation. So try not to take things too personally in your relationship. This will obviously pass. This is probably a better time to spend more time alone, trying to nurture yourself, nurture your feelings, nurture your body, resting, that sort of thing. Don't take it too personally in a relationship. If you're single, this is probably a better time to spend time by yourself, as you might not really feel too hot about going out and meeting people. It's better to just kind of, do some self-care. This could be getting nails done, getting hair done, getting yourself a hygiene kit, or getting yourself something nice, that sort of thing, and really enjoying your own presence, just trying to lift your moods. You may not necessarily feel like your mood has actually improved, but the point is to just comfort yourself as much as you can in this situation. I know that makes it sound really bad, but ultimately it's just it's a mood shift, and sometimes you can't cure the mood. You just got to work on your feeling of being with yourself through the situation. Finally, we have the Seven of Love again, but this case it's reversed. This is a case in Venus squaring Pluto on the 30th of September. This may bring into your relationship some frustrations. If you're in a partnership, this may make you feel like all of a sudden you need to win at all costs. It feels like there's something at stake here. I don't know if this is your pride, or really like you're feeling sensitive about something, or if you're really feeling like cagey or pressured or stressed, or like you're being somebody that you don't want to be. Either way, Pluto's bringing in some power dynamics, some power struggles here. You're going to feel maybe like for some reason like your strings are being pulled, like your triggers are getting triggered or whatever. So be sure to be mindful of this transit, as this transit is best to be used for, I guess you could say, putting your struggles to good use. Pluto loves to investigate. Pluto loves to dig deep. Pluto loves to find the truth. So in this case, try and direct that energy in avenues that will really benefit from that. In this case, try to frame your conversations with your partner about really finding out what works for both of you, really finding out how to heal or how to grow deeper in a relationship together, and using that as the framework for what's fueling your conversation, what's pushing you forward in the moment, because sometimes this can come across as too aggressive or maybe accusational. So in your partnerships, be aware of that sort of obsessive behavior and try to direct it in areas where it can do the best kind of work. So this can be investigations. Just remember that this is not to be obsessed with the accumulation of the knowledge itself so much as what you can do with that knowledge, how you can apply that knowledge. Learning more about each other so that you can feel better intimacy, have a better relationship. Now, if you're a single, this will kind of make it difficult for new relationships to move forward if they're kind of still a budding relationship. It will all of a sudden get very, very serious, and that may be kind of a turn off to some people if that's not what they're looking for. So just beware, Aries. This is going to push things into kind of an on or off switch. There's not going to be any gray area. There's not going to be any tolerance for these gray areas that normally may be tolerated. So keep an eye out for that, and it should be fine. I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you, Aries, just for love, to see if there's any messages for you for the month of September, and we will wrap. So like I mentioned before, if you enjoy the video, if you want to see more of it, make sure to hit the like button. Let me know how I'm doing. You can also comment below. Let me know if anything resonated for you. If you saw last month's transits for August, I'd love to know how that went for you too. So, and be sure if you want to catch next month's reports, and as well as my weekly reports and choose your message readings, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell too if you want to be notified as soon as I upload it. Okay, so Aries. Okay, so there is a message here of sort of reptilian. It's interesting. Okay, the lizard and the alligator. Pay attention to what you're visualizing, to what you're manifesting. It could be nightmares. It could be, excuse me. It could be nightmares. It could be fantastic dreams, fantasies that you're visualizing or trying to dream about. Be paying attention to that as you work through this month. In terms of love, be mindful of the kinds of relationships you're attracting, the kinds of dynamics that you're attracting. What you put into the relationship is going to come out of the relationship. If you put in negative behavior, negative attitudes, negative comments, you're going to get that mirrored back to you, as people are going to be trying to show you what they see. And what they see is going to be what you're giving off. So another thing here with the alligator is to slow and allow these experiences the chance to air out, to digest, so to speak. This may be a difficult time for you this month emotionally, Aries, as it may be digging up a lot of sensitive things for you. So make sure to take it slowly. Try to provide time for yourself to digest what's happening, to really process what's happening, and this will really help this month go much more smoothly for you. So I feel like overall the message is to try and be mindful of this sort of reptilian brain. You can look up the reptilian brain, but overall it's going to be focused on fear. It's going to be focused on sort of an instinctual response that's very ingrained. So try to be pulled back. Try to be a little bit more observant of yourself and the things that you're thinking, the actions that you're taking, the kinds of automatic responses that you have. This will really help in your relationships. This will really help through the transits this month if you're single and you're trying to meet new people. Being aware of how you're presenting yourself, being aware of how you're responding kind of automatically to other people can really help move you forward through this month's transit. So I hope that helps. I look forward to hearing back from you guys. And you guys have a good month. Peace.